Here we are, Monday, December 16th, 2024. Peach's Pit Party kicking off. All major radio shows decide at this time to take breaks until early next year. All the LA radio stations, their morning shows are gone to like January 6th on Friday. That was like their last show of the year. But we, of course, will be here doing it live almost all the time unless it's like, you know, Christmas Eve, Thanksgiving, etc. Maybe Monday next week. I'll take it off and give myself a much-deserved 5-day weekend. This weekend went by way too fast. It was one of those where I took a look at the time on Sunday, saw it was around 4:30, and went, all right, time to mentally prepare myself for another full work week. Is all the laundry done? Are the bed sheets washed? You know, all the stuff that the Sunday scaries is what they call it. Luckily, tonight, we have our Christmas party. Some people here in the building already gave us gifts. And I brought nothing. Once again, a repeat from last year that I told myself to, you know, get the staff members something this year. But one of our gifts that we received, you can see right now up on our Facebook at KBarrow 101 FM, Star and Maddie in the building gifted us sweaters with our faces on them that say Bah Humbug. Star also gave me stickers with my face on them, so I thought that was pretty cool. I could put them on all the cars here in the parking lot. I already had one listener that said they wanted one of them, so I'll just give them one, sure. They're pretty cool. They have an enamel finish to them. I'm looking at them right now. There's only about 6 of them, though. Limited edition. If you want to get a hold of me, you can do so over at 208-535-1015. It is a loaded week this week for guests for me on the show. Tomorrow, it did get confirmed that the one, the only Mark Tremonti of Creed, Alter Bridge, and Tremonti will be calling in to chat with me about the many bands he's in and much more on that. Then on Wednesday, I'll have Maddie Mullins from Memphis May Fire, as well as now Anne Berlin on Zoom to discuss the upcoming Shapeshifters tour, the upcoming Anne Berlin tour as well. Peach's Pit Party on this fine Monday will continue here in just a few on KBarrow 101. Over the weekend, I was playing the new Indiana Jones game, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and it's been addicting, but I can only take it in doses. It's one of those games that has a lot of puzzles. A huge part of me wants to see if I'm smart enough for these puzzles, or if I need to go to trusty old YouTube, and some of the puzzles are quite easy, but a lot of them, I went like, okay, yeah, I would have never gotten this. I like to think I'm smarter than most, but puzzle games I really can't stand. I'm shocked I'm playing this game, to be honest. But it has been motivating me to go and watch the Indiana Jones movies. I mentioned it on the show last week that I've never seen a single one. That's right, I haven't seen a single Indiana Jones movie besides not the most recent one. Isn't there a newer one that came out like last year? I'm talking about the one before that, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull or something like that. And that's one of the worst. I really, really want to see the original Raiders of the Lost Ark. I feel like that'd be a fun watch, but I have been on the ride at Disneyland a bunch of times when you're in that Jeep that's riding on a path that's all bumpy. Not sure if that ride is still there. It's been years since I've been to Disneyland, but I found it interesting that they didn't get Harrison Ford to voice his character. Maybe because he sounds old now. A lot of people thought like he was showing signs of a stroke in the future at the Game Awards. He's 82 years old, and all the people in the Facebook comments were like, he's slurring his speech. That's a sign of stroke. Somebody needs to watch out, take care of him, something like that. But he's just older. He's 82. He's in his prime in that game. They had this guy named Troy Baker do an amazing job replicating his demeanor, his voice, everything. The combat in the game is a little funny, though, because you can throw things at people, especially glass bottles. You can assume I was having a lot of fun throwing those bottles at people in Italy, getting their authentic Italian reactions. One of the craziest news stories when it comes to music happened over the weekend. Finn McKenty, who has been a content creator for many years. I believe his channel's called Punk Rock MBA or something like that. And he would sit there and analyze all these different bands. Turns out, well, in a recent podcast with Jesse Lee, he said that he just decided to stop because he's hit his financial goals and that he never really cared about music, especially the genres of rock and metal, which is quite surprising. That's just a weird thing to announce, like, oh, yeah, made my money, I'm done. And I don't know what he plans on doing next. Maybe he has tons of YouTube money that he saved specifically and just was like, you know what? Me and the wife are going to go on a massive vacation, then come back and just chill. But I wonder how much money that guy made if he can just announce his retirement like that and be done. The biggest shocker was just saying he wasn't into the music that he was talking about, like at all. I think he even said in the interview he doesn't really care about music. Those type of people creep me out the most, because how can you not care about music? Really? I know a friend of mine really hates listening to music, but he's a musician, and he's been going through years and years of rigorous musical courses, so he knows every single thing there is, and I can relate to him in a way, because I can't really listen to other radio stations because I don't really want to hear the music on the radio stations. I want to hear their imaging. I want to hear their DJs. I want to hear their promos, everything but the music, because I can get music practically anywhere. But I want to hear how these radio stations do it compared to our channels here. That type of thing. So I get it. Maybe, but the whole Finn McKenty thing was just a complete jaw dropper. Like, what? I didn't really watch his stuff from the beginning. I just found that quite surprising. Like, yep, I just don't care about music. I made that money. I'm done. Back in October of 2022, I can't believe it was that long ago, at the now Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater, formerly known as the USANA Amphitheater, Russell and I went there to go see Five Finger Death Punch, Megadeth, The Who, and Fire from the Gods, and I lined up an interview with Fire from the Gods and The Who. I already uploaded the Fire from the Gods interview, but just earlier this morning, I uploaded the interview with me, and I can't even say his name, but he's one of the lead members of The Who. If you've ever looked at their names, it's really cool. They're all straight-up Mongolian names with tons of letters, and I'm not going to try to attempt to say their names because I'll butcher it completely. But it was a really cool interview because I had a translator there with me. He can only speak Mongolian, the one guy I was interviewing, so it was neat to ask the translator the question. Then the translator had to switch to ask him the question, and then he would translate it back to me. It's a funny podcast to listen to because I didn't include I didn't cut out what the guy in The Who said. I just kept it all natural, and had me asking the question, the translator translating it, the guy answering the question, him translating back to me, and then me asking another question. It's on demand now, wherever you find your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc., even on our YouTube channel at KBear101RMG. Like I said at the beginning part of the show, I have 2 interviews later this week, or tomorrow and Wednesday, I should say, with Mark Tremonti and Maddie Mullins. So if you want to find those on demand, they will be available afterward on the Artist Interrogations podcast, wherever you find your podcasts. And this right here is your Shot Clock Sports Update. A Detroit Lions fan has lost his season tickets after inspiring an outburst from Green Bay Packers coach Matt LaFleur. Fahad Yusuf was on the field before the game to hold the American flag during the national anthem and started trash-talking Packers players and coaches by telling them they were going to lose to the Lions again. His taunts also included a throat-slashing motion, which Yusuf said is what provokes LaFleur into a curse-filled rant. Now, Yusuf didn't get to participate in holding the flag and then was escorted out of Ford Field shortly before halftime. In addition to losing his season tickets, Yusuf has to take a code of conduct course before he's allowed to attend another game at Ford Field. The Los Angeles Dodgers won Game 5 of the World Series this year because of some blunders in the field by the New York Yankees, and now the team has made some money off of one of those errors. The slow fly ball that Yankees star Aaron Judge dropped has been auctioned off by the Dodgers for $43,500. It was the most expensive piece of World Series memorabilia that the team sold. And also, we got some chess news today. An 18-year-old chess prodigy from India named, oh boy, here we go, Damaraju Gukesh made history by winning the title of World Chess Champion, becoming the youngest player ever to win the championship, breaking the previous record held by Garry Kasparov, who was 22 years old in 1985 when he took that top spot. Must be a slow sports day if I'm talking about chess. Wow. That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on KBear 101. Peaches Pit Party on KBear 101, Idaho's only rock station. At the beginning part of the show, I mentioned that some people here in the building gave us gifts, and one of those people was Melissa, who gifted everyone these hot or cold rice therapy bags that she sewed together. Initially, when I got mine, I thought, wow, thanks, Melissa. I need rice for my meals. This is perfect. Not realizing they were the bags, for warm or cold compression. She luckily didn't really hear me and then just kind of did that like, oh, I didn't hear you, but I'll chuckle anyway chuckle. And then she went to the K-Bear studio to go gift Victor his. And then I heard Victor mention how it'll be perfect for the back of his neck during the summertime to cool himself down or something like that. And I went, oh my God, this isn't rice for cooking. I was wondering even too why she sewed both sides shut. Like, would I have to grab a pair of scissors and cut it open? Why did she put the rice in these fancy bags? You can count me as the genius of the day today. So I have never drank any alcohol in my entire life. Not because of religious reasons or anything like that. I just decided not to. My entire life, I was told as a kid not to. Just kept it going, and now I'm 28, still haven't done it. And now that I had that whole AFib heart situation happen in December of last year, I just decided, you know what? Now I'm definitely not drinking. This certain condition, common this time of the year, holiday heart, also known as alcohol-induced atrial arrhythmia. There's symptoms with it, including chest flutters, dizziness, rapid or irregular heartbeat. You got to be careful. Holiday heart's associated with binge drinking, overeating, dehydration, factors that are all influenced by the merry season. And while the vast majority of those with holiday heart will recover with early treatment or by reducing their alcohol intake, some will be diagnosed with atrial fibrillation, and it's not fun at all. At all. It sucks when it happens. The last time it happened was when I was it was a very stressful 3 days where I had little to no sleep. Luckily enough, my heartbeat wasn't all that fast. It was regular. It was just out of whack. And it went back to normal on my birthday. That whole thing sucked. So to help avoid holiday heart, refrain from binge drinking, drink water between alcoholic drinks, eat a heart-healthy diet, be safe out there. All right, I know people won't listen. They'll continue to just drink and then live with the consequences. I just want to give my warning. That's all. Over the weekend, I didn't really spend much on Christmas presents. I bought Victor his present. I'm planning on getting my sister hers today. I'll have to think of something for my mom. I'm getting all these warnings from various websites. Today's the last day to make sure to buy these presents so they show up before Christmas. I think I saw Hot Topic had a big banner at the top of their website. Today, final day before, so they can arrive before, or they arrive on Christmas Eve. But I think I know what to get my sister. She's a big-time Taylor Swift fan, big-time Swiftie since she was really young. And I mean really young. Talking about like 6 or 7. So she's been a fan for quite a long time. She's defensive over Taylor Swift. If you insult her in front of her, she will argue against you. And my sister's incredibly smart, unlike me. Had that 5.0 GPA in high school and all that. Went to UC Irvine for that double major and all that. And I thought of something funny. I'm like, how could I combine something funny with something that she would actually like? And I know Taylor Swift is her top artist. I'm thinking, what could I get her that's sort of funny involving Taylor Swift? And then I realized I have that sticker of Taylor Swift in my closet that's like on that little shelf of cool things I've collected. And that sticker has Taylor Swift in the death metal font. And I thought, oh, that would be perfect to get my sister a t-shirt that I have seen in the past that has Taylor Swift in the death metal font. There's a goat on the front. It'd be funny. And I think she would like it too. I think she would wear that to her kickboxing classes or whatever. Yeah, now all of a sudden she's a kickboxing instructor. All of a sudden on her Instagram story yesterday, I opened it up and saw that she is now teaching people kickboxing. I will not pick on her at all anymore. I know she'll kick my butt. I left my place very few times over the weekend. I went to the grocery outlet store once, Winco once, and that was about it. I, for the most part, stayed inside. That and also because the weather was not that great over the weekend. But during one of my trips, I did see this guy's like junky car, like this older car, had some Christmas lights on the front of it. And I was thinking, is that legal? I don't think it is. Well, Wyoming police pulled over a vehicle that was completely covered in Christmas lights. The Highway Patrol shared a post on Instagram featuring the illuminated Ford Mustang that was completely wrapped in string lights, very similar to the car that I saw, only the hood was covered with these string lights, and that was about it. But I don't know how they would stay on the car. But police remind residents over in Wyoming that while covering a car with lights might look cool and be festive, we would like to remind you that it is illegal. That should be a question for traffic school powered by the advocates. Are Christmas lights legal on your car? Let's see, Idaho law, Christmas lights on car. Anything that just pops up right away. Well, I think you can. Oh, some radio station posted a couple days ago, can you decorate your car with Christmas lights in Idaho? Essentially, you are limited to only a few colors, which makes sense. You can't have red and blue on your car to emulate police sirens. You're limited to only a few colors of light, such as yellow, white, and red. They must be placed in the proper places, with white being in the front, red in the back, or on the side. All other colors would result in a fine and break Idaho law. There you go. We learned something today. So Victor and I consistently go back and forth about who has the worst drivers. And statistically, I think I remember reading Mississippi has the worst drivers. There's so many accidents and deaths because of accidents, etc., down in Mississippi that it's utterly crazy. And you wouldn't think right away that it's Mississippi that has the worst drivers. You would think the cities with the most people, California, New York, all the states with the most people, California, New York, all the busy places. Chicago. I was looking at this article here. What kind of winter drivers are you in southeast Idaho? There are 6 types of winter drivers, according to this article here from this radio station over in Twin Falls. There's the 4x4 or bust people. You put all the trust in the 4-wheel drive of your truck. If there's a pile of snow, you're going through it. I have seen plenty of those people. Then there are also the people, according to this article, if a truck can do it, so can I. You feel comfortable behind the wheel of your 2-wheel drive car. There's no street you can't conquer with a little drifting and wheel spin. I have seen those people everywhere. The ones that have, the junky 1990s car that can barely run, that's just drifting all over the place. They're having a fun time. Good for them. There's also the I'm terrified, but I have places to go. You hate driving in the snow. It scares you to death, but you have places to go, people to see, so you brave the roads anyway. Would I consider myself one of those people? I don't think I'm all that terrified. Like, I have my great snow tires. Slow and steady in the snow. You aren't really bothered by the snow and slick road conditions. You give yourself extra time for the drive so you can go slowly and safely to your destination. That's the way you have to go. Don't go crazy out there. Don't be tailing people. I've had a few people tail me recently. It's like, dude, if I hit the brakes, you slide across the ice and rear end me, it's over for you, buddy. It's over. I let the conditions control my actions. You must drive how everyone else around you drives. If people are driving slow, so are you. If they're driving fast, you're right there with them. Maybe I'm partly that. Maybe. And then the final one here on this list, the 6 types of drivers in southeast Idaho when it comes to snow. Snow or dry, this is how I drive. You barely take note of the weather. You drive the same on a sunny day as you do on the bleakest day of winter. The one thing I truly dislike, first world problem here, I know. When driving down my street, they have that snow wall in the middle of the road, and I got to make a U-turn, go past my place, make a U-ey, come back. That's my little problem there. But with my snow tires, I'm just fine in the wintertime. One thing I used to hate in customer service, besides the customers giving you a bad time, are those that were secretly executives of the company, of the restaurant that you were working for, and they would try testing you. In-N-Out had secret shoppers that would come in, and they would grade you if you followed all the instructions. I was talking to a fellow friend of mine over the weekend about that sort of thing, because he currently works at a place where they do the exact same thing, where you have to put such and such amount of toppings on these types of... It was a whole bunch of stuff we were talking about. And I hate testing overall when it comes to workplaces, things like that. This one kind of drove me nuts here, this story about this Rockhampton Zoo in Australia. They had a surprise drill featuring the zoo's director dressed as an ostrich. She donned the costume and, quote-unquote, escaped during operating hours, so guests had the chance to safely see how zookeepers would return the bird to its enclosure. They were watching some woman run around. Can't ostriches run a whole lot faster than humans? How fast can this lady run in an ostrich costume? Probably not all that fast. Ostrich top speed, 43 miles per hour. They should have put this lady on like some sort of like rocket skates. She's going around the whole zoo. They should have made her go around 40 miles per hour. That would definitely test the employees to try catching an ostrich. I guess people on TikTok are chatting about this woman that was seen standing during the entirety of a 7-hour flight. It was sparking debate on TikTok as to why she wouldn't just sit down. I've seen people like that before. I've seen newer parents do it for the most part because they have to move the kid around and all that, or tell the kid to shh, and walk it up and down the aisle sort of thing. Even though the fasten seatbelt sign is on, they break that rule just because they're a newer parent. But there's people saying, well, this lady could have a broken tailbone, could have a clotting disorder where you have to stand and stretch a lot because of that. I think the lady just wanted to stand. I think there's a lot of weird things, the whole like, oh, I just raw dogged this flight and didn't watch anything and sat there for 12 hours. I think this lady tried a new challenge, which I hope doesn't actually take off. No pun intended. But yeah, I don't want to see people standing during the flight. People that just don't follow the rules drive me nuts. Like they just won't listen. The fasten seatbelt sign is on. You sit there, you have your seatbelt on. That's it. Once again, Hollywood being unoriginal, not creative, just rebooting old shows that shouldn't be rebooted, even though I'm tempted to watch this. I'm slightly tempted to watch some of this. They're reviving Malcolm in the Middle with Bryan Cranston, Frankie Muniz, even the mom, but didn't show, I forgot, is it Steve? Frankie Muniz or Malcolm's character's friend? Didn't show him, didn't show the younger brother Dewey, didn't show the older brother. I wonder if they're not going to be a part of it. If that's the case, then it's really not Malcolm in the Middle. You can argue about that too, because people were so upset with Pantera being called Pantera. Linkin Park, definitely, with the whole Emily Armstrong situation. I did see some news over the weekend. We talked about it on the noon hour, how Soundgarden reunited, but not under Soundgarden. It was everybody else but, Chris Cornell. Couldn't really call this Malcolm in the Middle if it's just three of the old characters, Bryan Cranston, Frankie Muniz, and then Jane Kaczmarek, however you say her last name. Victor, come on in here. Could you call this Malcolm in the Middle if it's only Bryan Cranston, Frankie Muniz, and the mom?
No, what about the other two kids?
They didn't show them on the trailer. They just showed Bryan Cranston looking incredibly old, the mom with all gray hair, and Frankie Muniz. I think he's like your age now.
Well, I guess those were the three, stars. No, the other two kids weren't.
I say Dewey was quite a star.
He was a star. He was a star, but, Frankie Muniz, obviously, the main star.
What about Steve or Stevie, that little kid in the wheelchair that had the breathing problem?
Malcolm.
Yeah, that guy.
I don't know why they don't want me in the new version of the show.
You're starting to sound like Trump there for a second.
Oh, that was kind of Trumpish. I don't understand why they won't bring back the entire cast of Malcolm in the Middle.
I just looked it up. Frankie Muniz is 39 years old.
Geez, he's a little younger than me.
Yeah?
That's pretty crazy.
How old is Bryan Cranston? In his 60s?
He's real old. I don't know. He's got to be in his 60s.
68.
68 and still killing it.
And then the mom, she is also 68 years old.
Wow. I didn't realize they were that old, but that show was airing when I was pretty young because we were able to watch the whole series with my kids when they were really little.
I watched the series on Netflix just from start to finish. It was one of those shows. I'm like, you know what? I'll turn this on and check it out. And sure enough, I liked it. I really hated the mom. She did a great job being that mom that was just rude for no reason,
And then you got the just wacky, dumb dad,
right?
Hal.
Bryan Cranston's perfect to be that guy.
Yeah, it's a great show.
It is.
It's a really great show. If you have kids, it's the ultimate show because adults are going to enjoy it and kids are going to enjoy it. I could still throw it on and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Even watching it by myself as an adult.
I'm shocked you're here this late, by the way. It's 6:30.
Yeah, we're supposed to be at the party right now. What am I didn't want to hang out with anybody. I don't want food.
I don't want to deal with the cliques, it's like high school over again. There's different tables for different people.
See, but if you're me, it's like you're cool at all tables.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoy the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.